Here is the Bctv local and African news bulletin for Wednesday, September 3rd. President Joseph Boakai has announced major price cuts for flour and rice. Angry motorcyclists in Ganta, Nimba County have poured into the streets to protest the alleged killing of one of their colleagues by unidentified individuals. The military junta in Guinea is reversing a decree banning the coverage of political party activities ahead of a constitutional referendum. Liberian Senator Nyombli Congar Lawrence, President pro tempore of the Senate, has issued a powerful call for unity and visionary leadership at the 34th Annual United Basa Association of Americas convention over the weekend in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, the United States. Speaking to hundreds of Basa-speaking Liberians, she urged communities at home and abroad to overcome divisions and embrace transformational leadership, declaring, "We are all fingers of one hand." Madam Conga Lawrence, who also hails from Grand Bassa County in southeastern Liberia, announced 3 key initiatives: a peace and reconciliation drive, an economic council, and a youth development fund aimed at fostering healing, growth, and opportunity across Grand Bassa County. Liberian President Joseph N. Boakai has announced major price cuts for flour and rice, following recommendations from the Presidential Ad Hoc Committee on Price Contradictions, chaired by Vice President Jeremiah Kuhn, the executive mansion in Monrovia says. The wholesale price of flour has been reduced from $39 to $35 per 100-pound bag, while the price of rice has dropped from $16.75 to $14 per 25-pound bag. President Boakai said the move underscores his government's commitment to making food more affordable for ordinary Liberians. He directed the Ministry of Commerce and relevant agencies to enforce the new prices nationwide, warning that violators would face the full weight of the law. The Liberian leader added that the committee will continue consultations to review cost drivers and explore further reductions, stressing that food security and price stability remain key priorities of his administration. Tension gripped Ganta on Tuesday when scores of angry motorcyclists poured into the streets to protest the alleged killing of one of their colleagues by unidentified individuals in Nimba County. According to eyewitness accounts, the victim had reportedly given a ride to some unknown passengers late in the evening on Sunday. It was during this trip that he was attacked and killed, sparking immediate outrage within the city. Motorcyclists who form a large part of Ganta's transportation network described the incident as a brutal and senseless act. Many of them blocked major streets in protest, demanding swift justice and greater security measures. The killing has reignited concerns about the safety of commercial motorcyclists who often transport strangers at night and in isolated areas. Community members expressed concern that the situation, if left unaddressed, could escalate further. You're listening to the Bctv News Summary. Despite ongoing reforms in border security, biometric systems, and diplomatic lobbying, African states remain shut out of the U.S. visa waiver program, which now covers 42 countries, primarily in Europe, Asia, and South America, while China's expanding visa-free policies also continue to exclude the continent of Africa. The repeated exclusion has prompted African leaders to intensify diplomatic efforts, urging Washington to recognize the continent's progress and grant its citizens fairer access to one of the world's most influential travel frameworks. Since its launch in 1986, the visa waiver program has expanded in stages. And finally, Guinea has relaxed restrictions on the media by reversing a decree banning the coverage of political party activities. Guinea's media regulator had earlier issued an order prohibiting journalists from covering political parties facing dissolution or suspension by the authorities. But in a note to AFP on Monday, the head of the country's communications authority said the media can cover all political sides provided they observe election campaign rules. The West African country will hold a referendum on September 21, expected to open the way for a return to civilian rule. The military junta seized power from President Alpha Conde in 2021. To summarize, President Joseph Boakai has announced major price cuts for flour and rice in the country. Angry motorcyclists in Ganta, Nimba County have poured into the streets to protest the alleged killing of one of their colleagues by unidentified individuals. And the military junta in Guinea is reversing a decree banning the coverage of political party activities ahead of a constitutional referendum. That's the Bctv news summary up to the minute.